What's up, everyone? Welcome to Gurnee, Illinois and Six Flags Great America. Our first visit for the 2025 season. We're here to check out their new B&M dive coaster, Wrath of Rakshasa.
Yes, it's finally open and I can finally pronounce it. Wrath of Rakshasa. Took me a while.
It's a mouthful, but we're starting our day off here outside of the front entrance, which has been completely redone since our last visit, which was actually just last summer. This was a work in progress. It looks fantastic.
It looks beautiful. I walked up and I'm like, I don't know that I remember it looking this nice before.
No, it didn't. My first visit here was back in 2016, and I gotta say, the front entry area just looks completely revitalized. This is how you make a grand entrance, and I think that's important because here at Six Flags Great America, you have one of the most impressive skylines when it comes to roller coasters.
It's so fun to drive up to. It reminds me of Great Adventure Skyline before it got killed, but, you know, it's all right.
It's all right. Anyways, we're excited to check out the new roller coaster. It should be a good time. Let's go on in. And here is that grand reveal inside Six Flags Great America with the double-decker carousel right away. First thing I'm noticing, theme music. Gone is that classic pop tunes that you hear with a lot of Six Flags parks.
So
this
better.
is way more ambiance.
Yeah, I agree. That has always been one of my big things about the Six Flags parks. Is I can't disconnect from the regular world because I'm hearing the same music that I hear in the grocery store, and I'm like, am I here to get eggs or am I here to ride roller coasters?
It's called Great America, so they're playing Americana music, and that just ties in with the architectural style that they have with that new upgraded front entrance, the carousel. It just works.
Yeah, we're getting all the little seedlings from Cedar Fair. Maybe they upgraded a restaurant or two. I hope so.
And there is our reveal. Look at that, Wrath of Rakshasa. There's the train staring down the beyond vertical drop. It's gonna go through an Immelman right here that is directly next to Demon. There it goes. It's gonna flip through several different inversions. Right there's a dive loop. We got a demonic knot on a dive coaster, which is crazy.
That looks fun.
Oh, that looks pretty cool. This thing completely changes the feel of this area.
Well, I think we could say that it's better than whatever the pirate stuff was.
The Buccaneer Battle?
Yeah, by a little.
I think one of the things that most impressed me is that they only took up the space from Buccaneer Battle, meaning that they didn't remove anything else. Because there's a set of go-karts right over there that, we were also thinking, oh yeah, those are goner. But they were able to make up for it by actually having the ride extend out over here towards Demon.
It literally is everywhere. It's crazy. It's huge, but it somehow didn't require a lot of loss for the park. You know what I mean? That's
which is an absolute win. That's what you want to have. I mean, this was automatically going to be a tougher attraction to place because it is not on the outer edge of the park. It is in the park. You can walk through it directly underneath the drop. You can go around to the other side.
It feels like Dr. Diabolical, how you can walk all around that ride.
Yes.
That's the vibe.
This whole plaza has been completely redone. It wasn't even a plaza beforehand, but it is now. Seriously, everywhere you look, just blue track, those beautiful gold supports. This is really, really cool. Yeah, this is a huge improvement from what it was before. I also really like that they put up park benches facing the drop and just this massive structure because they know that people are going to stare and just watch this thing go. The demon sign lives, although I can see how you could be a little confused in thinking that this is actually Demon. But no, this is the new entrance to Demon, just right over here. They have this small, probably temporary entrance that says entrance, and I guess it also happens to be the exit. So yeah, you just go right through here now. Oh, dude, Wrath of Rakshasa looks so good. So Wrath of Rakshasa is positioned in the County Fair section of Six Flags Great American. I think when the name officially came out, people were like, how on earth is that going to tie in with the area? Especially because, this park, the theming is, usually an afterthought, right? But here they've actually made it pretty well known how it fits in. So this is like an act or an expo, an exhibition of showcasing the Rakshasa. So they say right here, an exhibit of rare artifacts depicting the Rakshasa. To feel the power as you come face to face with the Rakshasa into an awe-inspiring world. They make it work.
Yeah, I actually really like the name and the theme. I want to make it clear, it's mainly the tongue twister aspect that I was struggling with, but I've since slowed down and I can say it better. Before I was like, but I got it now.
I feel like that's what everyone's first initial reaction was when they announced the name. People were like, wait, hold on, wait a minute, what?
But it's a really cool creative theme. I'm glad they went for it instead of, and I'm hoping this is the case going forward, that we're moving away from superheroes and doing more creative, unique things like this. So we've been watching the ride go around for a couple minutes, and they have actually really fast dispatches. Bravo. But that being said, it doesn't really matter because this ride is incredibly popular, being that it's brand new and it's amazing looking. The line is, I believe, posted about 70 minutes, and it's a big cattle pen back there and then some switchbacks up the steps. But they do have single-use fast pass, which we are considering getting. But they do run at a pretty steep price of $25 a person. But you have to wait your time. For us, we're here for not even a full day, so we're like, maybe we wait it and just pay for it. I don't know.
So they do have lockers here for Wrath of Rakshasa. However, they are not required because of the loose article system. But they are the larger ones. A lot of the newer lockers that have been in the chain are the smaller, thinner lockers. So these still hold plenty of stuff. Right here in the queue, we get our first description of what a Rakshasa actually is. A mythological race of malevolent demons with supernatural powers. Very, very spooky looking. And then here you go. The collection presented features rare works of art which depict the creature in painting and sculpture. One thing I really appreciate is that the building is full of these huge gashes in the side.
So apparently this is at Canada's Wonderland. I haven't been to that park yet, so I've never seen this before.
Yeah, it's cool.
What the heck?
This is only the second ride ever to feature this after Yukon Striker.
Oh, I'm
It's very creative.
Wow.
The one thing is you have to make sure there's no liquid in your drink bottles, or else it will spill everywhere. Okay, so we just got off our first ever ride there on Wrath of Rakshasa. They were assigning rows, so we got put in row 2. In theory, you can request a row, but they were just really funneling people through, so we're just all right, but we got put in the middle. So we got to see how it rode there, and it'll definitely be something we'll want to go again later and try out the ends and everything. But first impressions, pretty solid.
I really liked it. So I always say my favorite type of dive coaster is a dive coaster with only one dive. Because then there's no mid-course, so it doesn't have to slow down and take a break. This just plows the whole way through it, which is awesome.
It's a big difference from something like Dr. Diabolical, the other Six Flags dive coaster that they built recently.
It's more like Emperor, which Emperor's was probably my favorite dive coaster.
Right, I think the layout here is extremely solid. I mean, there's a lot of inversions on this thing, and it flows pretty well. I thought the dramatic knot was nice. My favorite inversion was this one that's right by this Rakshasa statue that they have. I think it was very flowy in the way that you keep rolling even after the inversion ends, because then you go into the helix.
Yeah, I had heard a lot of discourse about because this has been open for a little bit now, we're a little late, about it being super rough and yada yada, and I have done some newer B&Ms that are on the rougher side, but I didn't feel like this was one of them. That being said, I did sit in a middle-ish seat, so
right.
I don't know.
Here's the one thing I will say. So I was actually in the very true middle, so in theory that should be the smoothest seat on the ride, right? You're not over a rail. There were parts of it that were pretty smooth, but there are other parts where you could tell that it was going to be worse if you're towards the end. In particular, there was one moment, I think, at the very end as you were twisting from the helix to, I think, change directions, where there was definitely like some side-to-side motion. That was the worst part from what I could tell based off of one ride.
But like I said before, like I think we just have to like accept that this is how B&M is manufacturing the rides now, and like it is what it is, and they're still fine, they're still good. So like we're not gonna have another dive coaster that rides like Griffin, at least not anytime soon. So like for a new B&M, it runs quite well. I think it's good.
Yeah, I miss the way that the old B&Ms run. That's just the thing. But
we have to move on.
But that's the thing. That's just the reality of it now. So you take it for what it is. I think the ride is very impressive. It's a good, well-rounded fit for the park. And you know what? We've been talking to a lot of people online, and it seems like everyone is enjoying it. All right, so we brought along a couple of our friends here to ride Wrath of Rakshasa, Lynn and Allison. How was your ride?
Great.
I loved it. It was so thrilling.
That was your first ride here at Great America.
First time here, first ride here. So fun. I felt like my stomach was going to drop on that drop.
And you grew up near Six Flags Great Escape, so this ride is significantly bigger than anything there.
Different. It was so. I thought it was so smooth. Like.
And you were on an end seat.
Yeah.
So that's good then.
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was great. I want to go again.
And Lynn, this is your home park. You've been coming here for a long time. How is it having a dive coaster here?
Oh, I love it. And I think it makes the Midway look beautiful. It brings such a new element to the park. And this is only my second time on this ride. But it's only my second dive coaster overall. So yeah, Cedar Point.
Valraven?
So, yeah.
What do you think, Valraven or Wrath of Rakshasa?
I have to go with Wrath. It's my home park.
All right, well there we go. And welcome to the Wrath of Rakshasa gift shop, where they have a ton of merchandise. And a lot of it looks pretty good. Check out all these different options. Not sure what that has to do with Rakshasa. Yeah, wrong park. Here we go. We got lots of pullovers, hoodies, and a bunch of the same shirts, just like all in a line here. But some of the designs look pretty good. Personally, I don't know about this one because that's definitely like Aero Track. So
You just have to suspend your disbelief.
Classic merch. Sun's starting to go down. I tell you what, this ride is looking very pretty against that pink sky. I like it.
I know, it's such a pretty sunset, and you know what? It's nice to actually see a sunset here because I feel like every time we come here it's gray.
Yeah, we actually got like nice lighting today.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and do another ride on Rakshasa. We're gonna pay for that single shot, skip the line. So the way it works is you essentially just go up towards the front. There's a little QR code there that you scan, and then you go through the process of paying for it. And then when you
And they take all your money.
Yeah, they take your money, and then you go up the separate line, and they'll scan the code. And then they'll let you on through. So the wait time, we were hoping that maybe it would go down as the night went on, and it has not. It's still
brand new, and it's like it's everywhere. Everyone who walks up, like because everyone walks this way at some point. Everything's that way. So you're gonna walk by and you're gonna see it. You're gonna go, whoa, that's crazy. That's huge. I gotta do that.
LOL, never mind. Flash Pass is closed for the day. All right, we're gonna do the regular line.
It's a lot shorter than it was earlier.
Yeah, so it's still posted at 60 or 70. However, that's what it was when that whole cattle pen was full. And now it's just a straight shot. So that makes me think that they're actually like way over posting. Didn't mention this earlier, but I want to shout out these fake columns here that they have around the real columns, because it looks like they're splitting. Like Rakshasa just like completely like busted through them. It's really, really nice. And they have that just like throughout the whole thing, even down there towards the exit. And here we are in the station. In total, that was less than 20 minutes. Their operations are so good. Let's go for our first ever night ride on Wrath of Rakshasa. Okay, so we got pretty lucky, and they grouped us in the front row. And this time was actually different because we also got to try out the end. So we are on the far right side.
Yeah.
And I definitely think a couple things felt different.
Yeah, so I still didn't think it was like rough. I think there's a few moments of shuffling, but I think it's less than like Raptera, right? Obviously that's a wing coaster, but you're still far away from the track in either scenario. And I found this to be less shuffly, but more than when I was in the middle.
Yes, it's definitely more than when you're in the middle, for sure.
But that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, that's to be expected.
Again, it's never gonna ride like a Griffin or a Sheikah again. At least not now. So.
But if they were able to figure that out, that'd be great, and I'd appreciate it.
I don't think it's a figuring it out thing. Like, from what I gather, it's a cost thing. And like B&Ms are already like expensive, and I think the whole thing is like steel costs a lot more now. I think it's just a way for them to cut costs, and like the trade-off is it's not gonna run as smoothly.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
We don't.
Some things that we've heard, but you know, we are not the ones who are actually making the decisions.
I don't think B&M just like forgot how to do super smooth coasts. I really think it's like an intentional change because of cost. That's the most logical thing. I don't think they just were like, to hell with it.
No, of course not, of course not. But I mean, you know, that being said, like, there is always the part of me that is just a little worried about how it will run in 10 to 15 years, right? Because the reality is, this coaster has been open only for a couple months, and it runs like a coaster would maybe after several years of operation. And so I think that is where my concerns lie. Like, or here's an alternative situation, right? So we as coaster enthusiasts, we kind of knew what to expect going in. However, there are a general public who might not be familiar with roller coasters, right? This park is outside of Chicago and Milwaukee, so you get a lot of people that come here. How many of them are going to ride this for their first time and, you know, maybe are a bit more sensitive to it, and they might sit on an end and be like, ugh, not for me, and then they won't ride it again?
I would actually argue that enthusiasts are more tuned into roughness than your average person.
Well, that's an interesting conversation. I mean, I think it could go either way.
I think we're more picky. Not us specifically, but probably at least a little bit. But
maybe.
Like, I think like as a whole, enthusiasts tend to be a bit more like tuned into it. Because like the thing is, we know, if you don't know any better, then like this is just what a roller coaster feels like. Whereas like people like us and like other roller coaster enthusiasts, we've ridden things that are glass smooth. So not everyone has that comparison to be like, this is rough compared to other roller coasters.
So let's talk about the layout. So,
Yeah.
Because that's I think one of the big things that stands out with this ride is that we have the mid-course brake run, we have a lot of inversions, and I think the ride keeps a good pace throughout each of those elements. There are two inversions to me that stand out. I mentioned the one towards the end. I also think this first one right here, sorry, not the first one, the first of the rolls, right? So you come out of the Immelman, you go into the dive loop, and then you do a roll. So that roll, and then the last one, have some floater air to it. And so I think those are the two moments that shine for me beyond like the drop, which is obviously good.
Yeah, I would say if I could change something about this layout, I would love to have like a pop of airtime somewhere, because obviously this ride has like the staple start with like the drop into the Immelman and everything, but then after that, everything's a little more unique. But most dive coasters have some little like airtime pop, even just like into the brake run or something, right? Like I think Dr. Diabolical is like one of the more new dive coasters, and like even that has like a couple little like moments here and there, and I'm like, if they could just add, like if they had added like one airtime hill to break up, like, because there's a lot of inversions, right? And they're all great, but it'd be cool to have like a negative G-force sensation there in the airtime department.
Yeah, no, that is very true. But I will at least shout out them for going with something different, right? So the whole demonic knot thing, first dive loop on a dive coaster, which is very, very cool. So, you know, there are absolutely some things that I think this ride has going for it. And so, yeah, where do I place this on my dive coaster list? I would say middle towards the top, I think.
Right, I think as of now, I'd always said that Emperor was probably my favorite. I have to think about it. I have to ride this more. I don't know.
I also haven't ridden Emperor in a while. Last time we were at SeaWorld San Diego, it was closed for the day.
That's true.
So we haven't done Emperor since it opened in 2022. So
I don't know, maybe I've changed my mind. I have no idea. Where would you place this in the park?
Ooh, okay. So I still think Goliath is my favorite.
Agreed.
Probably followed by Max Force. I think that's really good.
I agree.
Raging Bull, still. I like the drop and like some of the airtime moments in the back are crazy. Maybe number 5, maybe. I don't know. I still love a good like Batman the Ride. Their Batman clone is still really good. So like I think objectively I still like their Batman more.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd say maybe like a number 5.
I heard some lady go, "Oh look, the new Batman they just built," referring to this. So this is also a Batman.
Everyone is Batman.
They're
They're
all
all Batman. If there are any more Squidwards I need to know about. All right. Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course, make sure to stay tuned for more here at Coaster Studios, and we'll see you next time.